No.
Okay. So when we last
Anyways.
left off, the whole party had just hearing about the theft at the Grand Temple. The party had gone to investigate any said leads where they might be able to figure out what has occurred. They had gone to several locations, including that of the lair of Snitches the Goblin, a female informant for the city who gathers information and other such things in the know-hows of the city. They went to the local guardhouse as well as the local thieves' lair, hoping to uncover any solutions to what they go. So far, their inquisitive nature has yet to unfold the true culprit of anything, but their latest clue from the Thieves Guild was basically that they do work with the circus for pickpocketing purposes, thus leading the party to go investigate the circus next. We take place off as the party has gathered together outside of the main inn where they were, but unfortunately, as you guys look about, you notice one of your cohorts did not make it with you, as apparently your gnomish companion threw his back out the other night and cannot get out of bed this morning.
One of our cohorts needed to go deal with Clan Molder real quick.
One of our cohorts had to go set up a ritual and asked us to just go on without him.
So Nikolai is in bed, bedridden for the session as you guys decide where you want to go.
Do we have a long rest?
You've had a long rest, yeah.
Okay. I don't use any of my spells. Great.
I mean, last session you didn't have much cause to use magic.
I never used them because. Never mind.
Never use your spells as a bard.
Whoa! I can use an extra 2 hours to maybe polish off some of the rust!
Whoa.
But as you guys gather outside the inn, what do you wish to do?
Quincy,
I
have you
wish
found
to
anything
roll
from
dice.
the law enforcement?
Not really. What I remember from the law enforcement is they were mostly looking for wizardly types who would be looking to procure these gems and sort of use them for some sort of ritual. However, they don't know anybody in town that would kind of fit that demographic. Also, it's one of those things where maybe someone smuggled it out of town, but they also believe that thoroughly checking every single crate, every single person leaving, so that person is most likely still in the city. Or at least in the surrounding provinces. I don't know if they'd let people go out to the circus, or if they were some of the circus folk, they could have it stashed back in the city, purely for hypothetical sake. I don't think there's anything else I missed. I mean, I had the idea of looking into the, magic district, but it was very much like a coin flip if that would be useful or not. Because, usually if you stole these rare magical gems that are, the main components of ritual, you have everything already set up.
Yeah, you want to possibly...
I mean...
What were you saying?
There's always the chance that we could just ask for any major purchases in the past week or even further if we truly needed to.
Yeah, potentially. It's there's so many different options that it could occur, and of course, the circus definitely feels like it could be a part of it, but I mean, we were there when the fucking thievery was reported an hour later, and we saw everyone go on stage, during that Big Top act. Unless they have another freaking performer we don't know about.
The only thing we've confirmed, sort of, is it's probably not one of the main performers, since we were there since, not only during the show, but when the alarm went off.
Yeah. Well, of course, the alarm went off when she came to, which was half an hour to an hour later.
Unless it was a simulacrum.
Potentially, but...
Just to remind you guys, too, the clues you got from the priestess was the sounds of clacking like claws, like lobster claws.
Yeah, and no one really fit that description in the circus.
I mean, maybe one of them is a
Nothing
were-crab.
incredibly quiet that wouldn't murder.
We
on
just
sight.
dealt with hags. Could and a hag can turn invisible. And a hag using gems for mystical ritual, especially if those gems can fucking like cure somebody of the hag shit, they'd definitely be interested in that fucking mojo.
Are the claws crab claws or are the claws werewolf claws?
Crab claws.
Crab claws. More like
So
crab
the
claws.
hags produce crab claw noises.
Sea hags can do a lot of wacky shit in my brain.
Anything
they
can
could've-
do a lot of wacky
You
shit.
also
they
remember
could've-
too that whatever grabbed them was able to go through a small opening in the statues.
Was
True.
it a small or a tiny
Either
opening?
small or capable of being
Like-
small.
Like a hand.
in the sense,
kinda.
basically, something was able to get into the side. Basically, the
Nikolai
opening was
was
big
able
enough
to fit
just
in.
to get the gems out, right?
Mhm.
So something was able to get in there to a level that was encompass the gems and pull the gems out. So there was a small opening where the gems were able to get out. Just to remind you guys what I told you last time.
Yeah.
I mean, mage hand maybe.
I mean,
That's a
it's
possibility.
there's a lot of different possibilities, but I think checking out, it's one of those things where it's just like I don't know where we would look. 'Cause we
The
could go, like-
circus. Let's just
Well-
walk around the circus.
Yeah, right. We could definitely walk around the circus. There's also like lobster crab claws easily 1-to-1 to the docks or something. We can just look around there, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's finding. It's one of those things we're seeing where we could, like. It's like
Wait, the layout of the city is
specifically
accurate,
what
right?
we need to find. Like we know the areas we should investigate, but we don't know where we should investigate in those areas.
We
right?
don't know enough to know what we're looking for entirely. We have
If-
ideas,
even if
but
even if the city is on lockdown, if it's a sea-based creature, it just jumps into the lake, and whoopee, it's out.
No, yeah, and that is a conundrum that we could be running into. It's just, we have to try all of our options. Look, we were planning on going to the circus earlier, so why don't we plan on going to the circus now? See if we can get anything, literally
See-
anything.
either matches description. Literally, yeah, basically look for anything that could shed some light.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So you guys wander down to the circus area. I'll just flip maps for the sake of convenience. The circus still has people about it. Despite the lockdown, the circus is within the lockdown area, so there is still business being conducted. Obviously, you can't shut down an entire city, so things still to see going on as the performers and everything are about and everyone is moving about. You guys may choose to approach anyone you'd like to. Will not prevent you if you would like to go speak with a person.
Who do we want to speak to first? I would like to speak to maybe the Beastmaster lady to see if she would know about a creature who could have who could be like have a lobster claw but still be able to sneak, like a lobster claw that isn't just a lobster or a crab, Any sort of creature or being like that.
Do you want to go to the beast den?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay.
Did you guys?
By the way, as he does that, I want to be there and insight check if her expression changes during the conversation at all.
Okay.
Do we all want to just head to the Beastmaster tent, or do you guys have other people you want to case for?
I mean, right now, Beastmaster sounds fine. I can't think of much.
There was something weird going on between those two fucking beach sister twins, and so we gotta definitely look into that as well to see if it has any sort of relevance. So we gotta remember that. Yes. And we also got to see if there's any sort of mages that are part of the circus. Probably the ringmaster, but we got to double check. Just because this, because if they have someone who's able to wield magics and stuff, then that person could become a suspect. Anyway, let's go to the Beastmaster tent.
Okay, so you guys come up to the Beastmaster tent, where once again you come in and see Maylin standing at the cages with the beasts all around her. She looks over at each of you. Oh, you're all back. May I ask what you're doing here? Or did you just wish to see everything once again?
Well, even though your collection is very fine, Maylin, thank you very much for still presenting it even in times. We were asking for more of your experience rather than to peruse your menagerie.
No, so it's my knowledge you seek rather than my wares.
Yes, indeed, ma'am. So recently, we heard of a friend who ran afoul of some sort of creature, and before they could catch a glimpse of them, they were sadly incapacitated. Now, I was wondering if you could find any sort of, or think of any sort of creature who could potentially be stealthy or hidden, who would have those claws of a crustacean, like a lobster or clam.
Okay, can I insight check here to see if her expression changes or something?
Sure, roll me an insight check.
Buck is contemplating the terrible idea of Misty stepping into a cage and petting a dragon.
You know what, Mint? You are right. A Chad crab could have just done it.
It just kept critting.
Yeah.
Thief was rolling. It was actually just a regular crab that just.
It's one of those
destroyed
rainbow
the
mantis
priest.
things, and so it just hit her really hard with her with his freaking like distorting airwaves to make basically a gun happen. Yeah.
Like the priestess was about to eat the crab, and the crab just like one hit like KO'd her,
Mm-hmm.
and then took the gems.
She has a selfish allergy, and then the crab puts on sunglasses and then walks over.
You look over at the beast tamer. She doesn't seem to react in any kind of specific way when you ask that question.
Okay.
Just to get back on track here, but she does look about you and kind of rubs her chin. Creature with crab claws is what you're looking for?
Yeah, more like lobster claws or crab claws, something along those lines. That wasn't necessarily a crab or lobster.
No, it's definitely. I could think of a few such monstrosities, I suppose, in my knowledge. Let's see here. I think they're called chul or something like that. Though I'd be amazed to see one of their sorts around here.
Chul indeed. Now, could you describe Chul just a little bit for my why would Chul be rare in these parts?
Well, they're from the Underdark for starts. And that alone would make them rare. Apart from that, though, I would have to say, just 1 second as I bring up my beast tree because I don't remember everything about them myself.
So it's not them because he doesn't remember.
Well,
Got
I
it.
mean, I gotta remember everything regardless. They're also creatures of, well, they do exist in the waters areas. They do breathe water and are able to air. They don't actually speak, but understand languages. They also tend to be, what's the term, aberrational in nature.
How would you describe their makeup? Because you just gave me a name and said they could potentially have like lobster claws.
Oh, they're like giant-sized prawns? Massive in size, huge claws, tentacled faces. Very nasty things.
Got it. All right, so not the most stealthy creature.
No, probably not.
All right. You said there was a few options. Is there any more?
There's several demonic creatures with such capabilities.
You don't need to go into all those details. I'm just gonna write down demon in my notes. Demon/devil.
Yes, several of their kind have lobster claws, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, not any other specifics besides lobster claw you can give me. I mean, obviously, giant crabs and other such creatures exist.
It can be a creature. Well, it's not a demon or devil. It's sadly that wouldn't work. Yeah, a creature who wouldn't leave like noticeable tracks, that sort of. Like, sure, the area that this creature inhabited, that it potentially did, it's not like a muddy pond, but I'm pretty sure if as you're describing it, were there, then they would have left something behind. You know what I mean? This is a creature who, like, is, has the capability of packing up and moving and not leaving not much of a trace.
You're looking for a stealthy creature with claws.
Potentially, yes.
It's kind of.
Theory, it would have strength to move things and incapacitate someone.
It's one of those things where multiple things could have been there. Well, but let's stay.
I mean, I've heard of possible monstrosities created by wizards that could be such things.
Like, just name one off the top of your head.
Well, I've heard of creatures called mongrels created by wizards where they take a humanoid creature and just pierce all kinds of crazy monstrosity body parts to them. It's possible something like that could have crab claws.
Yes, or maybe we're too fixated on the crab claw part, and it could have just been like somebody who had a pet crab named Sir Crabbington. But it's very helpful you've given us so far.
Well, as I say, it's the best I can offer. I'm knowledgeable of monsters and creatures of the wild, but there are literal thousands after all.
Yeah. Any sort of humanoid or like, two-legged creature that would have those sorts of claws, just for my own personal satisfaction.
Two-legged creature with those sorts of claws, and excluding you, as you said, demonic in nature? Well, I believe there may be some Fae with such things.
Fae could do.
I called
They
it
were
last
always an option.
session. I called it last session.
All right, you know what? Thank you very much, ma'am. That is the information I needed. It's just, we're a little bit more knowledgeable now, and thank you very much for that. Is there any sort of, are you curious as to why we're asking or anything like that?
Well, I do admit I have a bit of a oddity of such a specific thing. You said someone you knew was assaulted by such a creature?
They ran afoul of one, yes. And so, they were wondering what was it, but just in case, because, it really just snuck up on them, and they were seeing if we could come up with some kind of anti-that happening tricks if we knew what it was. But of course, it left no trace, so we weren't able to find out. Of course, now, with what you've given us, we can narrow it down a good amount. Skull, demon, devil, mongrel folk, fae, or, plenty of other beastly creatures, but I'm going to stick more towards the mongrel and fae option. But thank you again so much.
You're welcome, friend. Is there anything else you would need of me?
This may be a bit awkward to ask, and I do apologize. I remember your circus master sort of producing some sort of cool, flashy effects. Now, I must ask, and I mean this in the utmost regard, is the circus master what you would call a scholar of arcane arts?
She kind of raises an eyebrow. Scholar might be the wrong word, but he does have some innate magic. Many do.
Oh, really? That's interesting to know. It's just one of those things where it's just like, I would want to ask them just to see if they know any sort of magical effects that would allow a person to, allow a creature like the clawed thing to be able to sneak up really well, because, unless it's a fan-like being, like what kind of magic can you put on a troll to make it sneak around, for example?
You mean like making it invisible or such thing?
Or such things. I'm just wondering that sort of thing. Of course, it seems like a clear-cut answer, but I'm looking for any sort of answer just to help my friend in the future. Like a way to detect invisible people, that sort of thing.
Did he do it? Tell us already. Did he do it?
What do you know? Well, I mean, I might be
Where
able to help
is
you with
she?
that. I have some passing with magic myself.
Can you turn creatures invisible? Was it you?
No.
Did I
can't.
fail my insight check? Was it a 20?
Now, do you know of any ways you could detect an invisible creature?
I personally would train a hound to do such a thing.
Exactly why it's a little bit more preferred to ask the circus master, just to see, because even though you're an expert on it, for our common friend there, it may be a bit harder to get the hound training in. I mean, they could hire you, of course, but we want something a bit more remedial for now, sort of thing.
There are magics about it. I believe there's a spell that is capable of seeing that which is hidden.
Exactly. So that's why we're planning on asking the circus master, just in case.
Well, if that's your desire, go ahead. I'm certain he has some time free at the moment.
Well, thank you very much. Your menagerie, as always, is fantastic. And he'll nod his head.
Just one more question.
Hmm.
Is this really your entire stock of creatures?
Well, we can only have so many out at a time.
What do you mean out at a time? Do you have more somewhere?
Well, I do have a few extras. These are the ones that are too dangerous to tame, let us say.
Ah, okay, but the tamed creatures are somewhere else.
Indeed. You did see my owl bear during the performance, did you not?
Right. Sorry, I wasn't paying much attention during the performance. I'm not big on circuses. No personal insult. Of course, I'm sure it was great.
Indeed. But yes, I have other creatures. Owl bears. We have an elephant around here somewhere.
Oh.
Nice.
Any
okay.
other creatures you're particularly proud of? I know the owl bear is impressive, but I'm just wondering if there's any like, yo, I got this, I was able to recruit this, what's it called?
Well, I have a baby griffin I'm training at the moment.
A baby griffin. Now that's a sight to behold. Or would be, if I could see it, but it's fine if you do not want to take him out. I understand that babies need a lot of sleep.
I could gather him for you, I suppose, if you're that curious.
That would be amazing, actually. I always wanted to see a griffin.
Yeah, well, give me a moment. I will go fetch him. She leaves the tent. You guys stand around. You by yourselves in the bestiary, surrounded by monsters. You doing anything for the few minutes she's gone, or?
We didn't
I
necessarily.
continuously calculate the risk assessment of Misty
No.
stepping into a cage and petting a dragon.
Now listen. Jordan's orders were to not hurt any humanoids, but what about proper monsters?
These are not
They are
threatening.
in cages and therefore not threats.
Ah, okay, good.
So when the baby griffin shows up.
Oh shit.
I'm glad someone started to catch on.
No, you guys, it's fine. The concept of pets.
We do?
Do they?
We
Do they really?
I would have. I'm sorry to say, but I'm pretty sure. Why do you want to fuck with a drake?
I'm pretty sure that a griffin doesn't qualify for a normal domestic pet.
Also, Quincy explained that some people have some animals that they travel around and have as pets and are tamed. And here's the thing, we watched the fucking circus performance. You guys saw her on top of an owl bear. Did you guys just go like, it's fine in that instance, but the baby griffin? Whoa.
Well, the owlbear
We
was
would have
nowhere
had
near
this
us.
conversation. I know I'm handicapping your cool, funny, haha, let's start a fucking with an NPC. But in lore, we would have had this talk.
Well, as you continue discussing, Malin returns carrying a tiny little baby griffin in her arms.
Oh
There
my
he
god,
is.
it's adorable.
That thing looks like a demon!
This here's the griffin I have. I found him a while back. He's getting rather large. At this point, he looks like a 4-month-old lion cub size. Probably
Oh.
good 30 to 40 pounds.
Does he know any tricks?
Well, not too many at the moment, but he knows some basic commands.
Like?
Sets him on the ground.
Kill.
Kill.
Peter, sit. And just sits down.
Keith,
Yep.
did you call this baby griffin Peter?
Yes.
Lois.
Ah.
Is the woman's name Lois?
Look, I needed a
Moving
name. I
along.
wasn't expecting to bring out a baby griffin, so I needed a name that fit. I'm like, Peter Griffin.
I didn't really want you to. Quincy was just being nice, and then Kawakami was like, yeah, let's see the griffin. I'm like, fuck.
I mean, listen, until I heard the words, I didn't expect to pull out a pet baby griffin. I was convinced I was on the right road, so I'm lost now.
Anyway,
So
she
nothing's changed.
gets Peter to sit. There's like, beg, and Peter just kind of brings up its little claws, and she tears off. She reaches in her pouch and tosses it a bit of meat that like snatches out of the air.
Now, I must say that Peter there is very adorable.
Clap, 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 clap.
Oh,
clap.
yes, of course.
He's growing well. When he grows large enough, it's possible to ride him even. Some people do use griffins as mounts.
Yes, I've heard of that. Now, how long does it take a griffin to reach maturity?
2 to 3 years in general.
Oh, that's not that long of a time.
Well, they mature at the same rate as most lions and tigers and such.
Hmm.
They tend to be full grown after that long.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I need to hit the dusty trail, as it were. Thank you very much for showing your menagerie once again, and thank you very much for introducing us to little Peter over there. Now, I do need to head off and ask another series of questions. I bid you a good day.
Very well.
You should have said I bid you adieu.
He is
No,
not
good.
French.
Then she could have misinterpreted that as duel, and then we would have had to break out dual discs and, like, explain
Good.
what pot of greed does, and I don't want that.
I heard duel, that sounds like hostile intent!
And you guys are heading towards Zaratan next, right?
I guess
Well-
it's is there anywhere you guys were thinking of going to next?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, the baby griffin was my only lead. Like, it has a fucking beak, so it can make noises similar to a claw technically, but you know.
I mean, it's true. As it snapped in the air, it sounded like claw snapping.
Yeah.
Oh no, Aries, you okay?
I'm
But-
like blanking out. Like I even seen the griffin. Like nothing. I'm clocking out right now.
Yeah, when Eric
Come!
fangirl over the griffin, I was concerned.
Yeah, it was a little bit concerning. Yeah.
Oh, quick, show Bruno. Let's see if the horny can wake her up.
Who's Bruna? What?
Bruno Mars?
You're talking of Brugo.
Yes.
No, I'm not interested in him anymore. He has a.
He has a wife. He's got a wife.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not interested in. I only feel hatred for him now. Like just a soft, like a soft, cold hatred where it just.
How
No.
dare he be married? How dare this
Also-
man not be available for
How
the
dare they not be available?
Also, Heath, why do you just have a baby griffin picture on hand or token?
Because I've used it before.
Because
Yeah.
as a DM, you never delete a token.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, man. I have thousands of tokens.
I
Okay.
still have the tokens of all of your characters there.
Wait, really?
Yup.
So you're saying at any point in time, Delphique, John,
I mean, if you want,
Malene,
I also have
Can
an Owl
also
Bear Cup token
go
on hand. There you go.
nice. It could have been the Owlbear Cup as well. Oh no. Yeah, okay. But that's my only lead. There's a bunch of other animals that we don't know about, including a baby griffin, which is possibly small enough to fit.
I honestly do not need to speak to Zartan, because honestly, they said, yeah, my magic is innate. And so I'm like, oh, sorcerer, I don't give a shit. You know?
Oh, I hope it's him now, just so that Derek cries later.
It's. Yeah, okay. Go talk to Zard, and it won't be him, and it'll be fine.
You okay, Aries?
Yeah. Sure.
Aries, is there any better? Is there not? Sorry, better. Is there any idea you had?
I'm clocking. Like, I really don't think I have no lead. I have no idea what we're doing. I
Eris
just
is-
know that it might have a connection to the circus, and I don't know where to even start. So don't ask me.
Eris's current ideas are on the train of thought, like, should I go to sleep? How do I go to sleep? When do I go to sleep?
No, I'm not tired. I'm not physically tired. I'm like just done.
You're just zoned out.
I'm zoned.
Exactly. The best thing is to just take a nap to unzone yourself.
I literally did. And I even took a shower too, but it didn't matter.
God, what happened to you?
I feel like
I don't-
suggesting murder isn't a solution, and it's
I don't
really
have
throwing me
I don't
off.
have any like guys to look at right now. I don't have any motivation to keep going.
Show her the big bad evil guy, quick.
No, we're trying to stop it. We're trying to make this a hero
Nah,
campaign.
it's fine.
God damn it, Baka, we're losing her. We need to
Join
inject
the
that
show
into
orders
her
here.
leg.
There we go.
2
Aw.
cc's of horny stat.
He's literally. You see his hair and face, and he's wearing just armor.
I like the armor. I like a man in uniform, especially in armor.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm-
god.
I feel a bit happy now. Yeah, this is working.
Okay, we got
So you
her
want to
back.
take point,
We
right?
did
In
it.
investigating and being charisma,
Wait,
right?
why do you want me to do it? You're charisma too, even though I have a higher charisma score than I have a higher persuasion score than you do.
I
That's
have a
because-
knife in my hand, and I should not have a knife in my hand at the moment.
That's because just like you, Eric also feels bad when other people are left out, so he wants you to be involved.
I too
Alright.
have charisma, but I'm also
It's
a
not-
warforged.
I'm willingly leaving myself out because like I'm just like I literally don't think I can contribute anything right now because I literally have no idea what to do.
Just out of it. That's fair.
Yeah, literally though, if he wants to drop something for me, he can. But I'm literally clueless in what to ask or to ask. Like, literally, if Mint walks over and talks to him, she's just gonna be like, "Yo, how you doing? You have any interest in like arcane stuff? Yeah, cool." That's
Steal
literally.
Do you have any
Gems
magic to
recently.
help?
Yeah, yo, my main man.
Anything but the upfront approach is just we don't have an idea at the moment of what to ask.
Yeah,
No.
literally though, like
Baka
don't-
needs a paper trail.
Let's go up to him and let's just go, yo, my man, do you know where a man could get 10,000 gold worth of gems?
I'm not even kidding though. My brain is too small to understand where he wants me to go. I don't know what he wants from me.
Look, I'm not forcing you to want anything from you guys.
I want to help with
Don't
this. I
It
want
feels
to
like
find
this
the,
literally any time there's an investigation.
yeah, just I want to help with the investigation and trying to find like like the robber who did this, but I literally have zero idea what to do. Like I feel like we could search this entire city and I wouldn't know what to do.
Think about it this way, Aries. Me, Jordan, and somebody else, maybe Baka, were in a one shot with Heath, where he set up the entire tower as if it was from the Beauty and the Beast. None of us realized, and in the last room, instead of spelling a 4-word as rose, we spelled it as porn instead, and we were shocked when it wasn't the answer.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still mad that porn wasn't the answer. How did porn not be It was under his bed as well, like it was the perfect fucking mag stash. Like you could not convince me that that wasn't his Playboy stash.
Well, yeah, I'm just telling you, I have no idea what to do, and just
No,
good
I
luck
know,
with
don't
that.
worry. it's I will drop hints as the game goes longer if you struggle too much, so don't worry too bad.
I'm already there. You don't understand.
We'll go with the group up the Zartan. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll just keep
Yeah.
moving, don't worry.
No time to explain. Just go.
Dude, what are we going to even ask him?
For the
I have
YOLO
no
of it,
idea.
can I ritual cast detect magic?
I mean, sure.
Okay, cool. I doubt it will do anything, but YOLO. Let's just start casting spells.
Can I YOLO it and cast Blade Ward and then stab myself in the same action?
I kind of want to do that now.
Checks
I have
out.
a pen in my hand instead of a knife. That is better, but still not good when I said that.
All right, dear. You're still insight checking Zartan when I ask him certain stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you
Got
come
it.
up to Zartan, who goes, "Ah, my friends, you've come up to see me. Up for another performance, are we?"
Oh, maybe not tonight, Zartan, but thank you for your offer. We're actually hoping for a quick moment of your time.
Oh, I suppose so. Not too busy at the moment. What can the great Zartan do for you?
All right, thank you very much, and you are very great. So, we've been running into a small issue recently. It seems that one of our friends, sort of lost their property, and we believe there could be an arcane hint to it. And I did see many of the fancy magics you produce, so I was wondering if you had any sort of training in that field, or, if your magical came from, say, your heart, then I wouldn't need to, press you a bit deeper.
Did you fucking do it, man? Just admit it.
I have arcane abilities, as I have shown you with the display of wonders I do for the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure what your question is. Are you asking me what
No, I mean more like arcane book knowledge, that sort of thing. Like, it seems you have a natural talent for it. I'm just not sure. I was wondering if you're more the learned types when it comes to arcane, rather than I'll feel my way through it.
Oh, no. I learned my arcane tricks purely by happenstance. Bit of a gift, really.
Well, you are sincerely gifted.
Can
I do apologize
fucking
for then-
insight?
Yeah.
Can I just random roll to see what his thing is? Like, what makes him be able to do it innately?
He's probably a sorcerer.
I know, but like,
I'm
what
guessing
kind?
it wasn't getting stabbed in the back while falling off a cliff.
Can I like I don't know, like Arcana check to see what kind of sorcerer he is? I'm just curious.
I mean, you can attempt it, but it'd be incredibly difficult. Because,
Okay.
He
never
doesn't
mind.
look scaly.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
unless he's got a visual tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aren't most
I mean-
sorcerers supposed to?
Does he have a visual tell?
Nothing.
He doesn't seem to.
See, it's not like he's
Yeah.
got the black scales of like a dragonborn sorcerer or something. Which, as far as I'm
Does-
Some
aware,
of the tails are even only available when they
Does-
cast spells.
Does he have creepy black eyes, or does he feel like he's dead? Is he a shadow
I don't know. Are you
sorcerer?
touching him?
No, his aura, his presence. Like, those are two traits of the shadow sorcerers, no? Am I wrong?
It is.
I think one's like no heartbeat or and not blinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that most sorcerers have like some like
Yeah,
The
more
thing
sorcerers
is,
have a
Potter
tell.
wouldn't know this, so I wouldn't be looking for this.
I mean, you can roll
So-
me a perception check, I suppose. To see if
I'm
you
just-
see some sort of tell.
I just want to try something at the very least
That's
to
fine.
be useful.
You don't see any kind of physical tell about him.
Wow, cool.
So,
Well, for you.
judging,
Wild magic, got it.
yeah.
And does my insight check get me anything?
No, you do not see. You do not sense any sort of
Deceit.
deceit from him. From it, at least. Hard to read. You're like, I'm not sure. He's very flamboyant and open, so it's hard to tell.
Okay, his deception's too high.
But he looks at each of you and goes, in any case, though, I mean, I flattered you would ask me for such a thing, but what sort of knowledge would you like from me?
Well, it's one of those things where it's just like, if it's one of those things where if you had some really good, you know what? No, it's fine. It's one of those things where it's like, how we would be able to find somebody who had like very, very powerful arcane objects before they would do a spell, for example. But I don't think that you would have the method or the, like, you know, a way to find that. No offense, Zara.
I see. What, your friend must have been robbed of something special then.
Indeed. Yeah, no, they ran afoul with something special, and it seems that something important to them was lost. And we did try to use a locate object spell and weren't able to find it. So we were seeing if we could find any sort of other leads in that case. It's not even powerful. It may even have a sentimental value.
Sure, Mint, roll me an insight check. So you're just getting a general vibe from him, is what
Yeah, I
you're
just
asking for.
I just want to check his vibe. I just want to just see what kind of person is he. I just want to just get like barefaced. I don't know.
I'd say from the vibe of that, you kind of gather he's... Well, as I said, he comes across as a showmanship and flamboyant, but you do gather that he is charismatic as well. A man who definitely knows how to speak. You guys are also damn well aware he runs a criminal organization slightly robbing people, so you know he's not the most honest person.
No, yeah.
Like, you guys are aware he has pickpockets he works with the Thieves Guild, so you could probably detect that he won't be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That sort of knowledge where if one of our compatriots lost something of very noticeable quality, where we could, you know, if there's a way to detect that. Now, I don't believe that you are necessarily the right man with the skill set for the job, but, you know, if there's anything you could tell us.
Oh, well, my friends, I don't know what exactly you could tell you. If you're looking for a certain item, I suppose you could ask a cleric. Some of them have the ability to locate objects and items, depending on who stole it from you, of course. What valuable item are you missing?
We already told you we did this.
You may have forgotten because someone vibe checked you. But yes,
Right.
we weren't able to find it with a locate object.
Hard breathing, gun in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you... it depends on what sort of item you're missing. If a locate object obviously isn't available, you can also...
You know
attempt-
what? Actually, screw all that. I've got a question for you. You've seen many people here today, and, you know, it seems that you are a very charismatic fella with a very much of an eye for recognizing the finer thing. I've got a question for you. Have you met anybody, or have you seen any creature recently in the past few days you've been here that, you know, you would recognize some sort of claw or like lobster or crab sort of mechanism on? Now, I know you've seen lots of people, but I'm just wondering.
You want me to know if I've seen a man walking around my circus with crab claws.
Man, creature, companion or phylactery, something along those lines, yes.
Phylactery.
Familiar is what I meant to
For
say. I
necromancy,
apologize.
pal.
You can tell that I'm not learned in the arcane either.
Fucking necromancers with their skulls just going clinkety clankety.
Literally just taking their phylactery out on a walk.
Oh,
Some
Yeah.
lich.
A large 4-meter tall lich with his phylactery being a single hollowed out crab claw, just taking it out for a walk. See the circus, you know?
I'm just gonna believe it was a druid that turned into a regular old lobster and just beat up the person and left.
Hey, I'll have you know that I'm innocent.
Seeker looks over at
No,
Seeker.
it was a robotic skeleton druid turned in to literally anything clinkety clackety.
Yes,
Evil goblin.
evil goblin.
Zarta kind of raises
Wait,
an
high stealth
eyebrow
impossible.
at the question. He goes, a creature that's summoned with crab claws of a magical sort. Fascinating.
I believe a better way to ask this question would be, have you seen anyone suspicious or someone who stands out?
I'm looking at one right now, I suppose.
Minus us.
You shut the fuck up, I have a stuffed warforged and a toothbrush, I will fuck you up!
I mean, to be fair, I see all kinds of sorts in the circus. Asking a circus folk if they've seen an odd fellow is a bit like asking a zebra if they've seen something that looks like a horse.
By the way, guys, why did we approach this with a direct question instead of trying to hire him for a job to see if he has the skills? Like, why did we just go ahead and ask him, hey, something's been stolen?
Hey,
Could
you
we
know
just
what,
go
Dio?
with
If you want to take the lead and do some shit, feel free. I've been passing that buck up, and then everyone's been like, I'm good, I'm full. I don't need seconds.
I'm
So
not
if
the
you want to
charisma
just
character.
fucking take over and go like, hey, why don't we do this? You can take you can take the ball to talk at any time, mister.
Fucking
It is
Jordan.
free to be taken. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, goddamn antisocial piece of shit.
You could always ask your party what to do before you start
Oh my
doing.
fucking
He
god, I'm going to
did.
rip your head
I
off.
do not. You are the last person.
Dio, I have legitimately asked if there's anyone else have any other ideas or how should we approach? Oh my god.
He's been literally
I love
asking that
you.
all session.
I love you
Well,
so much. You are
I-
just like
You see,
you are
the
just
problem
like a
is,
catty girlfriend.
I
Oh my
might have
God.
gotten the idea mid fucking your questioning, and I was like, hey, we should have done this instead. So now I'm passing the blame on to you because I'm flawless.
You are such like a fucking manipulative girlfriend. It is not even funny. Oh my god.
We're in a toxic relationship. Nobody gets them out.
All the relationships with you, Dart, are toxic. Moving on.
Good.
In any case, Artan looks. Well, to be fair, I don't know exactly what you expect of me for this sort of thing, but such a creature, I must admit, would be fantastic to have for a menagerie.
So, not necessarily. You haven't necessarily saw one. You seem to be beating one in the bush when it comes to giving me a sort of direct answer when it comes to this.
Have
Now,
I
is there
seen
anything-
a creature with crab claws wandering around? No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Now, if we do find one and you would wish to hire him, I'd be sure willing to hand him over.
Are we talking about a person or an animal at this point? I'm not sure where we're getting at anymore.
I'm not sure. All I have is a crab claw person thing.
Mister, I'm not sure what you're getting out.
So you want a crab claw? Is this the same person that apparently stole from your friend?
Yes, they're related.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense, I suppose.
So a crab
Or
claw
for-
or some person who stole something of magical or sentimental value recently.
Yes, well, I'll keep an eye open for all of you. And if I should come across said item, what is it, so I can, ask around. Maybe perhaps one of my fellow co-workers may know something about this.
Yeah, we were actually. My next plan was to head over and see. I was gonna ask you if I was allowed to speak to. I'm sorry, I really am.
It's
I
okay
can't.
if you don't remember the names, just which character.
The two bee girls who dressed up in the yellow and black who juggled the daggers.
Spot and Dot.
Spot and Dot. There we go. We were wondering if we could speak to Spot and Dot. It's just the fact that I still did want to talk to them a little bit. Also, the fact that they seem to have maybe it does nothing to relate to it at all, but I already told you that I am that of the lawyer persuasion, and so not having a mystery solved or having something nagging me when this stuff occurred is always just gonna keep me coming back to it like it's one big conspiracy or some such. So I was wondering if I could go and ask them.
I suppose you could. They should be in the back rooms by the tents practicing.
All right, thank you very much, Zaratan. Is it okay? Are you gonna escort us there, or is it okay if I go like, "Yo, Zaratan said it was cool," and then just walk in?
They are adults. They're capable of handling things themselves.
There we go. Okay. Well, no, I assume you don't want some random people walking into the back tents of the circus, and so I wanted.
Well, I would imagine you would announce yourselves before entering. But
no, of course,
as long as you knock on the make your presence known.
No, we would like to bust your local cocaine deal without you knowing.
Of course.
Knock
Thank you
on the
very
tent.
much, sir.
Yes, thank you. Knock on the tent.
Now,
please.
did anyone have any questions for Zaratan?
I do not believe so.
No. No, I do not.
Well, I must say, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Zaratan.
Oh,
I
very
have one question.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, man.
What made you want to start a circus?
It's an interesting question, dear miss. I'd have to say it was the thrill of exploring the world, going about and gathering the knowledge and entertaining the masses. After all, bringing pleasure to around the world is fantastic. Seeing all the land, and obviously occasionally making the profits of such things are quite nice as well.
How much do you actually gain from a circus?
check.
Like, it doesn't seem like you gain way too much, considering the amount of staff you have here.
You're asking me what my profit margins are, good sir.
Yes, I am.
Turns to Tatsu, you seem to not remember much.
Listen, nobody buys the premium cards. Those were a scam. You were all idiots for buying them. So yeah. Like, we were the only ones with premium cards. There were like 10 of us in the backstage, and it was just our part. Nobody buys those.
Yeah, and they had 10 people buy, 5 silver cards.
Yeah, but like, so it's whatever.
That's a good
still.
business day. That's
Look-
like 2.5 gold.
Look at how many people there are here, okay? Just working here. And the animals and the amount of food. Like, these are not your standard animals. They have to fucking feed each of
Look
these
at the
creatures
amount of guests
probably
here.
tons of food. Like, who the fuck knows what
I
a wyvern even
Mean
eats?
to be
So yes,
fair, good sir.
I'm asking his proof and magic.
We make a fair chunk of money. We do obviously deal mostly in silver, but we make hundreds of silver, if not thousands sometimes, per city visit.
And
How
that
long-
Tatsu is just the legal currency they are willing to disclose.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Did-
trying to
Did
hint
you just
at.
say that out loud?
I did just say that out loud, I don't give a crap.
Never mind then. Unless I can't say anything else. Great. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the mister, and since I'm low intelligence, I'm gonna be like, wait, do you have an illegal business?
I walk away. I just walk away. Min just walks and leaves.
Too. Father casts invisibility and leaves.
I'm
Everyone
saying
fucks off.
here, I have my excuse to badger him about this now.
I don't want to deal with this. I really don't.
Jesus Christ.
You guys can leave. You're leaving a daughter alone. The last time that happened, the world ended, so it's up to you. I don't really care.
Well, we're banking on Heath not giving you access to a god and release from his prison
As the entire
and a circus of all places.
as everybody walks away, as they roll their eyes, you're looking at Zartan. Goes, "Excuse me, sir. What are you accusing me of?"
I'm not accusing
Oh no,
you
I
of
get this shit back on
anything.
a short rest. This happened.
The robot accused you of illegal things, and honestly, I'm kind of curious. That robot's pretty smart. Do you actually do some shady business? Come on, I won't tell anybody.
We are so far away. Fuck that. I literally moved my token away from that bullshit. Fuck.
He just kind of. I do not like the accusation of your robot. I don't care for much for that accusation, good sir.
Ah, come on. We all know you have to do some shady stuff once in a while. I mean, I'm from, what's it called, Asalia? Was
Yeah.
it? I'm from
Yes.
Asalia. Like, if you don't grease some palms back there, you're never gonna get anything done. So, like, I understand the struggle.
Jesus Christ, Dio. Excuse me, sir, but I don't quite take well to these accusations.
I'm
afraid
not
you'll have
accusing
to
you of
leave.
anything.
It sounds like you are, sir.
I'm not accusing you of anything. We're just having a friendly discussion. Wink, wink.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Well, wink, wink. He's saying wink, wink. He's not
by the
actually
way-
winking.
By the way, how irritated is he getting at this?
He's looking very perturbed, to say the least. He doesn't quite appreciate someone basically saying, "Hey, you're like, being a crime person here, right? You know."
Yeah.
He-
Want to
he-
do some crime?
Yeah, and he kind of looks over at you. He goes, "Well, I think this conversation is over."
Okay. I mean, sure, I get it. You don't want to discuss it with a stranger, like, I can understand, right? I probably wouldn't too, but hey, we can, like, sit down, have a few beers. How about tomorrow at the pub? Huh?
For fuck's sake, shits and giggles, roll me a persuasion check.
I have never walked away, by the way. I heard all this. This is amazing.
He looks at you like, I think not. Though you are by far the oddest elf I've ever met.
Well, it's a shame. I would have loved to have made your company. But oh well, suit yourself. You're missing out though.
This is where we
Considering-
learn that Tatsu's gay.
Yes, this is where we learn that Tatsu's gay. I just fucking wink at him again. The offer stands. Goodbye. And I just leave in the direction of the party.
As you
I
guys-
follow my idiot.
Damn it. Well, that goes on, Quincy. You're able to go find the back tent where Spot and Dot are. I'll put you up in the area.
Thank you very much.
Uh,
I knock on the back tent.
Yes, who's there?
Oh, it's me, Mr. Gashoon from last night before's, VIP group. I just had a few questions for you two.
Yeah, you hear some hurried whispers. And they open up the tent. He goes, "Oh, Mr. Quincy, it's good to see you again."
Been stepping out. I didn't want to continue.
Nope.
Till
That's fine. I'm just really not having it today. Like, it's just, I really have no idea what's going on. And I'm just not really, I don't know what to do.
I mean, it's okay if you can't play today, Aries. If you're just not having a day, it's okay. We'll pick it.
Not that, that's not the thing though. It's I literally have no idea what I can do as a character. That I'm just sitting here and watching, and it's just not fun for me.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, Eris. I have no idea what to do as a character either. I literally just pulled a stunt because it was there and Jordan said something that I could use. Like, I literally just went like, fuck it. Like, nobody has any idea. None of our characters are really made for this, and I don't think, like, we're really good at this. Jordan is the best at this, but Jordan made such a passive character, he's not doing anything.
I enjoy being passive.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough, Eris. I mean, don't worry. I'll get the. If you're worried about it, by next week we'll have the things ready to resolve. If you feel like you need to leave today, Aries. But I mean, I'll try to make it going as quick as easy as possible for you from here on out. Then, but
I'm sorry, but yeah, I think I need to step out for today.
okay, Aries, don't worry about it. We'll see you next week then.
Yeah, it is.
Well, do we want to continue, or should we get a little bit farther in so we can just give them a recap and then
Well,
the
we'll
investigation?
keep going, guys, and I'll break it off before things get going. I'll try to keep it brief for you guys, and truncate things so it's easier for you.
Yes, good evening. So we just recently ran afoul of something, and so there's just something that's been bugging me, and I really hope I'm not prying. But what was that, I noticed that you and, Spot were on the same page a few nights before, and I was wondering why that was. I don't know, I understand if I'm prying too much, but it's just, I can't get it out of my mind, and we did just have something occur. I'm hoping it's not related.
They're just asking why they weren't on the same page yesterday, or
Yeah, no, they were giving each other like death glare.
they kind of look at each other, sisterly things.
And I know I'm prying, I really do, and I know you don't have to answer, but it'd really be helpful if we could elaborate on that.
You see them kind of look at each other, and one of the spies like, I don't see what business is of yours, Quincy, but basically, my sister and I don't always get along. And they kind of huff at each other.
Well, I am a mediator, I am a lawyer, so I was hoping I could find a way to, amend the situation. So what would you guys, if I could get a brass tack sort of, what were you guys arguing about?
They kind of look at each other and glare, and they seem to be a thing, and then they kind of shrug. Goes, if you're so inclined to know, we basically always argue about which of us is the more central character to the act.
Oh. Huh. Now that is a tough situation. It's one of those things that I realize that you guys probably also realize, and that's why you're still there. It just really depends on what you guys perform. It's not necessarily that someone's a central character. It's the fact that some days when you two perform, Dot may be more in the spotlight, or sometimes Spot. It's one of those things where not every always be perfect. However, as long as you guys realize that, and realize that you will pay it back to the other one, because you do, I assume that you two are sisters who enjoy each other very much, even if you have your disagreements. That
And
you
at that
guys
moment,
will...
Ares realizes that Quincy is trying for a threesome and walks away.
You guys will,
Nice. That's a
let
good
the
enough
other one go into the spotlight next time, and keep trading back and forth. Because of course you'd like it to be pure even, or maybe you're a little ahead, but you know that if you're a little ahead, then your sister would feel behind. And that's not necessarily a good feeling.
Just for fun, roll me a persuasion check, Quincy.
I do have a bardic inspiration, so I'm gonna probably need to use that. Yeah. Yep, using that bardic inspiration for
You
17.
perfectly oh, yeah, right. 17. Is this good enough, Heat? Does he get the threesome?
No, he's not trying to fuck him.
I don't know.
What is your goal exactly here?
I legitimately want to know if they had some part to do with the heist. Legit. You know, something. Because we didn't see him all day yesterday. You know, they showed up right when the performance started, and the performance didn't last. Like, you know, there was a small gap in where they could have done the thing.
Look at
Got him.
them, they seem to be... how to put it with the question is like, they kind of look at it just like, it's nice of you to say, Quincy, but obviously we have our own issues to take care of. But it's nice of you to care enough to try.
Well, thank you very much. Trying's the best that some of us can do. And he'll do a small bow and just like, well, that's all I wanted to ask. Unless you guys saw somebody with lobster claws who can sneak around really well.
They kind
Or
of raise
something that can go click
eyebrows.
clack. Maybe not lobster claws, like someone who could go click clack, like if they had a clamshell or something.
What, like a salsa dancer?
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, just ask.
Nothing that I'm aware of. Sister? No, nothing I'm aware of either.
Do you think? Now, this may be a bit rude to say, but who was the wife of Brugo?
Oh, Brugo's wife? Talia.
Do you think Talia would be seen dead with anything that could go click clack like a lobster claw?
I imagine she'd have something that might go click clack. I mean, she has daggers.
The daggers go click clack, though. I think they go like ting ting or stab stab.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I don't know. Click clack? They kind of like look at each other confused by the statement. I'm not sure what you're getting at with that, but I don't think there's anything she has that goes click clack.
Yeah, no, like the sound a lobster claw or crab claw makes when it, like, you know, pinches down and back up.
Or a very small griffin.
Or Smeargle, griffin beat.
Or a smelly gold griffin, yes.
Or something else. I don't know. I'm shooting my shot, ladies. I do apologize. I'm just seeing what I can find.
I don't know why this is important.
It's... You're probably gonna ask. We have been... One of our friends had something stolen from them, and the one hint they were able to get to us is stealthy, and they went click-clack in the night. That is literally all we have to work off of, and so I'm trying every single lead I can find.
They look at each other, and they kind of shrug. No idea.
Thank you very much, ladies, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your practice. I'm sorry for disturbing it.
It's alright. Seeker. It's at this point you kind of notice a head kind of peeking out from a tent nearby looking at your party.
Are we all together, or
I'm
Yeah.
assuming
Yes.
you are.
Yes, we are.
I pointed out discreetly to Quincy?
What does the head resemble?
You look over quickly and you see what looks to be the face of Hector kind of looking out at you all. And then
Who
when
was
he
Hector
sees you
again?
looking, he kind of ducks back in. Hector was one of the kids.
Yep, now it's time to
Ah.
interrogate some children.
Ah, fuck. The moment we
Oh,
could
that's
use
the word we're
Ares.
using now.
Yep.
Advanced interrogation techniques.
The one time we could use Ares isn't here.
We go over to talk to the children.
Who here knows how to talk to children? It's only Quincy, isn't it?
Yeah, the only one who knows here how to talk.
I babysat the Foodars. The answer is a solid maybe.
They
No.
destroyed your voice box, jumped you off a cliff, and then let you rot.
Yeah.
A solid maybe.
A knock knock. Hello there. I saw somebody peek their head out. I was wondering if I could speak to them.
You hear kind of frantic whispering behind the tent, and they're like, "I just know you do it." And after a few minutes, it goes. You hear a voice go, yes. Can I help you?
Yes, my name's Quincy Gashoon. I was hoping to, it seems that you guys were taking a peek at us, and I was hoping to see, why was that?
Hector kind of looks over. Molly's kind of stares at him. He kind of looks back. Goes, I was just hearing your questioning was all.
Well, Hector, thank you very much for being inquisitive. Now, I've got a question for you guys. Did you also make your way out of Marquisha?
Yeah, we're from there originally.
Well, if it makes you feel better and a little bit more solidarity, me and Kawakami were in Marquisha when everything went down. We're actually in the capital.
He kind of looks over a little wide-eyed at that. He's like, you were there too?
You were there
Yes.
too? Well, howdy. I guess we're capital buddies.
Meanwhile, me and Seeker are like, we already prestiged.
Now, how
And
about
they
this?
were
We got
there
some
during the
treats
first
that
war.
Mint cooked us before she had to go out for a head cold. Why don't we have some of these snacks and then we can talk about our experiences a little bit as fellow people who were there at that incident.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? All right. Is that all right? Of course. I don't want to impose Molly and Hector. I'm sorry about my speech. I've been talking for about 9 hours. Give me a fucking break.
Molly kind of looks over, kind of looks at Hector, and Hector kind of looks back, kind of. You can tell that Molly is the more dominant of the two people, but Hector seems to kind of concerned and worried look on his face, where Molly seemed to have a more of like, be kind of like be quiet or don't do anything silly kind of thing.
Seems they need another push.
I have weapons of mass blunt force trauma.
Oh my god, I've been hanging out with Dio too much. My first instinct's like, pull out a dagger, like, hey, you want to look at a dagger?
Lol. How is that hanging out with me too much? That's more Jordan. Or Baka even. Baka owns a lot of daggers.
We don't talk about that. I have a deck of cards. If you can do with that, I don't care.
Is it the fucking deck of rigged card?
No, it's the deck of many things. What do you think?
Ah, fuck.
God, so how do we further convince these children? I am really sorry.
The fucking kids just pull out a deck and say,
to
let's
give
start
you
playing
a
the game.
hint, they're more waiting for questions to be asked. You haven't.
Oh, of course. So what happened when you guys were in Marquisha? We tried exiting through the main gate, and we ran into, like, a creature that was mechanical and druid and goblin and skeleton and looked like it'd been killed and kept being brought back a bunch. We saw an orc with a really good bow. We saw someone sharing Brugo's namesake, who was an orc who was really strong. We saw Mint's uncle, and we saw a dragon. What you guys see?
Jesus Christ.
I love the canonical
PTSD
thing.
flashbacks.
I love the canonical thing of we saw Mint's uncle.
I know. I just also like the fact that your way to open up to these children is like, here's all the traumatizing things we saw. What did you see?
Yeah, no, we have. It's one of those things where it's just like, this may be like not the best thing because most kids want to repress it and stuff like that. But like, I'm giving kids the prime opportunity of people who were there as well that they can talk to about that
This
situation.
is a therapy session now.
Yeah, Hector
Yeah.
looks over. Says,
This is Quincy being the therapist to the circus.
I am writing down a bill right now for an hour, right? Please tell me after exactly an hour passes.
Yeah, Quincy's got the
Alright.
wrong is in the wrong profession. He wasn't a lawyer. He was a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Hector kind of looks back. It's like, we hid in the cellar. Our
In this-
parents put us down there. We just heard the screams.
That
I'm
was
just
a-
gonna. Kawakami is just gonna go like, fuck, why didn't we think of that?
Now, there may have been a lot of that, and there's nothing I can say that ever will make those feel better. But if you do want to feel slightly better about it, at least the fact that your parents' your parents' decision to keep you down in the cellar was the correct. You guys were able to make it here today, and even though it's not like there's nothing that could possibly compare to what it is, at least you found these good people and you were able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, you're orphans, but at least you're alive.
Yeah, and you guys make a good amount of money, and you have food and people who care about you, it seems.
It seems.
Oh my god.
This is the best. First he took my joke statement and incorporated it into his speech, and now this.
Now, I must say that not everyone, a lot more people were unlucky that day, but you don't ever have to feel guilty for ever coming out of that, and you also
You're
don't ever
not guilty for their deaths, kid. You didn't
My
leave
brain
them
keep-
to die.
Can I keep going, Dio, without any sort of like side comments?
Sure, I'll mute myself.
Thank you. But you also
Okay, I'll start making the side comments.
Okay, guys, let
Continue.
Eric talk.
But also, the best thing that you guys could have possibly have done is survive. And look at you guys now. I saw you guys on those trapeze work. You are insane. You did fantastic. You are surviving and thriving even after the world threw that at you. And that is something to be truly
So, Kawakami, because you were doing insight checks, I'm assuming you still want to do insight checks?
Yes,
Roll me one.
this is the first one I fail horribly. The children did it. They actually destroyed the entire town, really.
You notice when you talk about them being with good folk, they kind of look at each other. There's a shared glance between them.
I'm just gonna whisper to Quincy, they're not with good folk. They don't think that at the very least. They seem to be suspicious.
Now, of course, I can talk about my experience a bit, but I was wondering a little bit, after you made it out, after you succeeded, how has the circus life been?
It's
The
been good.
well,
Everybody here is kind to us for the most part, and we do our share. It's a home at least.
Now you said for the most part. Now, is there anyone who's not necessarily that kind?
You kind of see that Hector kind of look a little pale when he says, "Sorry, I didn't. Maybe
No.
I must speak. I just it's nothing like that. It's everybody's kind. It's just and he kind of looks a little awkward and weird again, and seeming to want to say something.
Kid, just
Seeker,
say it. We're not like gonna tell anybody. Don't worry.
Seeker, could you do a quick scan around, make sure no one's listening in, that sort of thing? They do seem to be worried.
Okay, I do so. I make sure that
Oh,
no
it's
one's
this for no reason.
listening.
Roll me perception.
Perception.
Okay.
No.
You look about. You're pretty damn certain nothing's around you.
Yeah, nothing is around except this weird voice in the sky that keeps narrating everything you do.
My friend Seeker, guaranteed. Now, if you don't feel comfortable telling it to the four of us and you just want to tell it to one of us, we'd be more than willing to listen in. Mr. Hector, your words do have value and you should be listened to as such.
Molly kind of looks over at Hector, but Hector kind of looks at Molly. Molly kind of whispers, I think we should touch them, but and she kind of looks over. It's not so much that people have been mean, or even treated us poorly, but things have been kind of different lately.
Well, Well, how would you say different? Like, as I understand, you guys go town to town bringing merriment and wonder. Has there been something going on in the background that hasn't necessarily been honest?
At this, they kind of both look a little ashamed, but they kind of look at each other. Kind of look a little like you could tell, like, based off what you already know, given the knowledge you have, you gather they are aware of the pickpocketing thing. Their hesitancy probably deals with the pickpocketing in that sense. You can gather with just a passive insight.
Yeah. Now, if you guys don't want to say it, is it okay if I make a guess and you guys, can follow along with me in that guess? Is that all right? Here. What I would guess is, because you guys have many talented people here who are very, dexterous, sometimes on occasion, you may accidentally bump into somebody and a little extra cash would fall into some pockets. Now, that's not inherently illegal. It's just, there's no way of telling till you get home and then reporting that. Like, anyone could say that sort of thing.
Molly, you look at Molly, she kind of gives you a glare. Hector kind of looks over because...
Dude, they clearly don't like the fact that these guys are stealing and you're talking to them like they're fucking criminals. Like, yes, it's fine. Just steal from people. We don't like that they are stealing. We just steal from people.
Criminal scum!
Okay, so how would you present So, hey, kids, are your parents thieves?
They're not their parents.
Is your
Acquaintances
home-
that
They're
take care of them.
orphans!
They're
So
like-
yes!
They're like those
Is your
fucking...
home givers thieves? Are the people who are feeding you and letting you, make
Dude.
money on the side thieves? The people who
Dude.
put a roof over your head thieves?
Dude, just because somebody puts a roof over your head doesn't mean you have to like them. Look at Harry Potter, holy shit.
In any case...
But it was previously established that they do kind of enjoy it here, Tarina.
Okay.
In any
Mostly
case,
enjoy
they
it.
do look at each other, but they're like... I mean, that's not the new thing.
Oh. Well, how about this? Whenever it comes to any sort of experience that I've ever gone, the way that makes me feel less, bad about it, especially is to, let somebody else know. And of course, if that person's a close confidant, then that would be even perfect. Now, of course, it seems that you two are sharing a secret, and even if you're sharing it, it's such a decent secret that it won't be able to, that even with although the two of you know it together, it may not be the most uplifting. So what I'd recommend is, oh God, okay. Before you guys jump in, I really want to say I am a lawyer, and one of the main things I'm practiced in is patient-client confidentiality. And so in this matter, if you want, I can consider you a client, and then if you wanted to tell me something, get it off your chest, at least have somebody know, and see if we can, and see how we want to handle it from there. Then you can tell me. But if you don't want us to handle it and you just want to get it off your chest, then I will be zip-lipped and not telling you. Is that an okay thing to say to these kids?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say that to the children.
I mean, he's still looking back and forth at each other, but Hector's like, it's just the weird thing is Zaraton's been different over the last few months. I mean,
Has he been? Go ahead.
It's just, and he looks over at Molly, kind of looks at us, and he's like, we don't know what's. Molly, he's doing things he couldn't do before.
Things like, he's learned some new magical fireworks or something.
He was never able to do that kind of stuff, at least not in any kind of that sort of level before.
God, was he really is this a fucking warlock of the Fae?
Now, I do have to ask, maybe we didn't hear it earlier. When we walked up to Zaraton and started talking to him, Jordan stated he said he ritual casted Detect Magic. Did he pick up anything from that?
I mean, in the sense that...
For specifically Zaraton in this case, let's say.
Let me just look over the description of Detect Magic again, because it's not... I have to make sure all the things with Detect Magic
Here,
works
I'll
with,
mark
because
it
it's
for you.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Magic within 30 feet, and it's instant magic. This way you can use your action. Visible creature or object in the bear's magic. I mean, technically you sense magic from him in the sense that he was using magic to display with the crowd still.
Uh-huh.
But it's not like it'll tell you what a person's ability or school or magic is.
No, like what he's capable of, yes. It's just, any ongoing magical effects, like if he casts the Sky Self on himself.
Yeah, exactly. There was no magical spell upon him.
Okay.
Though you got a faint aura of magic from him, but he was literally casting spells, so you would have known things like he was casting minor illusion and things like that, and like dancing lights and things. Basically he's doing what he does to placate the crowd.
Doesn't Detect Magic tell you the school of magic, or was that something else?
It can, but that's only if it's
tells
under
you
a
the
spell.
spell.
Yeah, it tells you about a spell's school of magic.
Okay.
Identify tells you the spell. Detect Magic just tells you the school of what the spell is if it's under a spell.
Okay. But
All
yeah,
right,
it's totally a fucking newly appointed Fae warlock. It's
No,
actually the Fae.
Now, I must ask, he's been a bit different. He's been a bit more ability-wise. Now, his personality, has that at all changed? Has he been a bit more
Whimsical.
standoffish?
They kind of look at he's been a bit more to himself. Yeah.
Right. Now, has there ever been an instance where you wanted to talk to him and he was just like, go away, you cannot mess with me right now, go? That wasn't him being on the toilet, for example.
Well, there was a time I was trying to talk to him, but he said he needed a minute before he could come out and see me. Nothing like get out or anything like you're talking about. I'm not sure. Just
No. That's something along that line was what I was gonna ask.
there are times he's in his trailer where I wanted to talk to him and he needed a minute. Sometimes I think I hear him talking, but I don't see anyone around.
And he mostly does that in his trailer, right?
Yeah?
Well, Molly, Hector, we will. Thank you very much for letting us know. Now, do you guys feel any better after letting us know?
Molly looks very kind of sour-faced, but Hector kind of looks. I don't know. I'm just worried.
You know what? Would you be alright if we, spoke to him, but we didn't mention anything we talked about? We just see if he seems to be alright or, it needs any sort of help.
Okay.
We wouldn't mention you guys. You don't have to worry about any of that, okay?
Be right back. Alright, real quick.
We go to him. I thought I told you to leave.
We're not going to him. We're gonna go and break into his fucking trailer. That's the plan.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I figured.
I would suggest doing that against that in the middle of broad daylight. I mean, it's not a bad plan, but you guys are in the middle of a busy festival right now. just letting you know, so you're aware of your surroundings.
No, of course.
Perhaps wait for the after show.
Yeah, just letting you know that now, just in case you were planning on rushing in to break into a trailer in the middle of the day. I've had players kind of do that before I mention it to them.
Now, of course, if we can find someone who can break a lock, and then we cast that invisibility on them, then we'll...
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna stand right in the middle of the street. We're gonna press
Make
T on our
life easy,
keyboard,
Misty step
and
in.
we're gonna wait for 8 hours.
You can see. You can't see inside the trailer.
There just needs to be a hole in a door somewhere to see in.
Or a window. If something is not 100% opaque, can you technically see through it?
I'm back.
I mean, you can go. Most trailers, their curtains are closed, so you technically can't see into them.
Yeah, but curtains aren't completely opaque.
Most are actually, yes.
Are they?
Yes,
Especially
Yes.
the circus curtains.
Like,
circus curtains, dude. They're
at
privacy
most,
curtains.
you might be able to.
Alright.
You might be able to see some shadows if the light was shining on them, but you can't see through them otherwise. No.
Yeah, I forgot we're
You
talking
can't see
about
through them.
curtains.
You can just see impressions from light, and that is it.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to see that in broad daylight. That'd be something that'd be done at night when a candle's lit or something.
Nah, just jam a dagger in the
Okay.
side and
Do
just
we
keep
have
going
a
until you
cleric?
make a small hole.
No.
Do we have a cleric? Fuck.
No.
Can we get a 5th level cleric to cast
No.
divine weapon or whatever it's called? No, we need a 3rd level cleric. Cast divine weapon because it doesn't require sight to cut the curtain so that then we can step in.
Well, you don't. And I have a feeling going in, it's like, hey, we'd like you to cut these curtains so we can break into a trailer. Might not fly over well with the
I mean,
religious
we
sort.
have a priest that wants to find some gems, and she knows that we're good for our word because we already did something good. So maybe.
God, if only there were spells that could just make things move, like literally a druid craft, make a small gust of wind or anything.
Well, do you have druidcraft?
I do.
Well, then do it.
A druid.
Then fucking do it.
What? Now, because I wasn't here, what exactly is Dirter suggesting here?
No,
Can
we
I
need
have
to
a
get
bit more context?
the circus master's trailer is sus. We want to get in, and so we're trying to find a way to get someone in there.
So
And
you're
so
essentially gonna.
Baka can misty step. He just needs to see in it.
Yeah, so we need you to use Gust of Wind to move the curtains so that Baka can briefly see inside and use Mystic Step.
Not even gust of wind, just a small druid craft.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember if prestidigitation could do the same. I know for a fact thaumaturgy could.
And is the trailer empty?
We haven't even gone to the trailer. We're just talking meta-wise.
We're gonna figure out if
Because
it's
he's just like, don't try to break into the trailer in the middle of broad fucking daylight in a crowded circus.
Meta-wise, we have access to both Pass Without Trace and Invisibility.
Yeah, no, that's
So what you're saying is, make Baka invisible, gust of wind, Baka teleports in, and
Invisibility
then
ends
Baka
immediately.
teleports out. Yeah, but
no.
nobody's
If
in
I
the
cast
trailer.
it, it's fine.
Nobody's in the trailer because it's a busy day, right? If we wait until night, he's maybe gonna be in his trailer. Now's the best time to strike. Nobody's gonna be in the trailer.
Now, hold on. Let's talk about this a bit more meta later. Thank you, Molly. Hector, is there anything anything further we need to talk about? Any questions you have for us?
They look back for the no. And by the way, it's not the person who casts this. If you are under invisibility and cast a spell, the invisibility ends, Eric.
Yeah.
Got it.
Until you attack or cast a spell.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Probably best case is ensure somebody attends the after show by like giving out a couple of gold for it.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys the hint for this one. The best time to probably break in where you know they won't be around and a place wouldn't be surrounded, or less likely would be during the show.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Fair.
Quincy can go watch the show and then even pay for the after show just to keep him distracted a little bit longer. If
Yeah.
you guys,
But
the
your
game.
best
That's-
bet to
that's
break in
probably-
would be during the show.
Yeah.
And how
but
about this? Do we want to pick up next session during the show?
That might be a bad idea. We'll have everybody there now that the mystery side is more or less over.
Yeah.
Since you guys now have a very obvious, yeah, I've given you the big hints. Now you just
Okay. So Quincy will attend the show. Is anyone going to join Quincy in attending the show, or are you guys going to be team breaking?
They already know the time board. Bring along some kids. It's suspicious if you just go alone.
We
like-
want. You know what? Here's the thing. How about we have? Honestly, I think it'll just be Quincy because I do want Ares and Vex's characters to be able to contribute and do stuff as well.
No, we have access to chill. God, that sounded bad.
Yeah, we have access to other children, Eric.
Yeah, we can. God, this is gonna sound even worse, but we can borrow the
Orc and the
The
human.
Quill, the Zago family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially even a few orphans.
That was my oh yeah, we can borrow an entire fucking orphanage. Just pick
Quincy-
10 of the cutest orphans and bring them along.
Quincy's just gonna take the orphans out for a circus fair.
Fucking tell them duel to right now, top 10 in the competition, get to go.
hell, if that doesn't fucking distract Zartan for a great little bit, hey Zartan, enjoy 10 orphans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
3 hours
viable.
later.
It's a viable plan.
All right. Well, we can have that happen. We can set that up. Wish wash, hand wave it. I put 5 gold down to bring a bunch of freaking orphans to the carnival later today, and I'll be like, "Hey, priestess, I'm gonna borrow some kids and bring them to the carnival, but don't worry, they'll be fine. Bye."
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean,
They'll bring some caretakers of their own.
You could probably just say, for the sake, your character would say, I feel like being kind and taking the orphans. If you tell her, hey, I'm planning to use these orphans as a distraction while we break into his place to, try to see if he's got it, probably wouldn't pass. But as long as you just phrase it as, I feel like doing a good deed, she probably wouldn't stop you.
No, Quincy
Get
would be
them
smart
off.
enough to do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get their minds off of the recent break-in and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, robots in disguise.
Meanwhile, we're making the most recent break-in become the second most recent
Now,
break-in.
I'm going to say, we stop planning the break-in from here. And I do love you guys. But we have Quincy distract with the kids, and then Seeker, Fodder, Kawakami, Seeker, Fodder, Kawakami, and the other 2 participate, just so it isn't just hey, you know what? We already planned it out. You follow along. We want them to be part of the planning, see what they want to do, and figure out.
We'll take
Yeah.
care of that next week. But at least you guys got the idea. You know where you're going. Unfortunately, I was hoping Vex was going to be here because he's the guy who told me he likes mysteries.
Aw.
Go figure, right?
Aw.
Damn.
Like, he likes a good mystery, and I'm like, oh, I think Vex would be probably, and like, that's who we're missing. So I'm like, I was always, of course, planning and doing what I did, which was I would give you guys plenty of hints to get you here once things got going. I
yeah,
feel
but
bad
it's-
for Aries because she was completely out of it today, but
Yeah.
Hopefully next session will be a bit more fun and everyone will be able to be, you know, you guys will be able to be a team and have your own special roles.
no,
Like who's the cab driver? Who's
it'll
the
be a little
lookout?
more active next session.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
actually go in? Yeah.
I was planning to be
Also-
active this session too, but I'm like, it's just funny because originally you guys were talking going straight to the kids last week, and they just like, okay, like, well that's good because the kids are nope, they're going to everybody else but the kids today. Because you guys are like, sure it was the kids last
Because
time
we
we were talking.
We don't want to kill the kids.
I
Children
think-
is Baka's kryptonite, so we must keep them away as much as possible.
I have fight or fight instincts around children. All right.
I think it was the
The
literal
last time I
fact
wasn't
that-
actually pushed off a cliff. I ran.
I think it was the literal
The cliff was
fact
the
that-
better option between the two.
What were you saying, Dia?
I think it was the literal fact of the children were a bit too obvious. It was too on the nose.
Well, the children aren't even the ones who did it. They're just the ones who ratted out the
They were
person who
just
did
the
it.
easiest to get info from because they're kids.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thinking, right? Like if you're looking for the person most likely to
I mean,
open up, it was going to be the kids more likely.
to be fair, if Eric just used his fucking seduction skills and boned those two twins, that
Yeah.
would have gotten him info as well.
It was unfortunate that Judah wasn't here because Judah played Spot and Dot last time, so I don't know exactly what was going through his head during that session. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's fine.
I kind of had to play it a little loosey goosey with that because I'm like, he was the one playing them last session, so I'm not sure where to go exactly. It's okay.
Also, why the fuck does Jordan keep playing passive characters whenever he's a player together with me?
I
Because
enjoy
it's the
just
best time to be passive.
yeah, I just enjoy the shenanigans of the art arena.
I mean,
Without having
I
any of the
have to admit,
consequences.
the accusing him straight up, you're a criminal, right? Was like that was an interesting interrogation strategy. I guess I can stop
Yeah, I
recording.
mean-
We're done for the day.
Jordan